The Ellen DeGeneres Show is currently under investigation after several employees claim they suffer from a toxic work environment. Some even saying they were victims of sexual misconduct, racism, and bullying. Reports of the Ellen DeGeneres Show being a less than ideal place to work began in April when it was revealed that the staff wasn't notified of their employment status or whether or not they would be paid during the nationwide lockdown due to coronavirus. In addition to this, one of Ellen's former bodyguards came forward and said that Ellen's on-stage persona is a complete 180 from her off-stage persona. According to The Decider, one black employee was told by a producer that she may be confused for another black staffer because they both had box braids. Also, in another incident, a writer on the show told her, "I'm sorry, I only know the names of the white people who work here." One of the executive producers of the show, Ed Glavin, expected to be let go from the show after being accused of sexual harassment and misconduct. On Thursday, July 30th, Ellen issued a statement to her staff that was leaked to the press, where she responded to the allegations and apologized. In the apology, Ellen stated that the show has grown exponentially, which has caused her to turn to others to self-manage, which some employees did not do. There haven't been any accusations of Ellen being accused of sexual misconduct or racism, but some have attacked her for deceiving her fan base under a false persona. How can someone promote kindness in public but be so cold and demeaning in person? It is now alleged that Ellen is thinking about leaving her hit show. Calling into the studio is our very own Pierre to give us his reactions to this. So first and foremost, Pierre, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, but I wish I was in the studio, but it's all good. We'll do it from this way.
So have you been keeping up with what's going on with Ellen?
It's actually funny. I've heard about this about last year. In the middle of last year, I've heard about it through some people in the industry were talking about it, how she wasn't as nice, and there's a lot of beef going on behind the set. And it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. It's funny how it surprises everyone else, because I get it. They buy into her image of being fun and guilty and dancing and all that. But I know, normally to have a successful show, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that people are surprised to. You don't just get to the top by being the nicest person. I'm not saying it's excusable to not be nice, but I know how this business is. A lot of times we see people, we think it's good, it's not. Remember with Martin, Gina, and Martin weren't really liking each other, but on screen you got to smile and do all that kind of stuff. Right. So to me, I understand, because people put celebrities on a pedestal. They forget that talent and a person is two separate entities. There's a talent person and there's a regular person, and they're separate. And sometimes we get caught up and marry them together and think, oh, because she's so cool or he's so cool, I know he's cool. Just like people get excited about meeting their celebrity fans. We, the people, put all that on a regular person. It's really just a regular person that just have to have a talent that you don't have, maybe, or a talent that's been known or exceeds a regular talent. Doesn't mean they're a better person. It's just their talent's in the situation. And so sometimes we get caught up in that and get all giggly and, oh my God, I met Drake. But you don't act the same way when you meet the guy who fixes your tires at the tire place. You don't say, oh my God, I met the tire guy. I met the tire. That guy is more closer to you than Drake is. Right. But we find a way to put celebrities on a pedestal. And when we hear news like this, we're shocked. Like, oh my God. But don't be shocked. There's a lot of that going on in Hollywood, just all over. Even in your regular job, even you, the people who are watching it, your job, your boss, still some of the same stuff. It's just when it's a celebrity, it's magnified.
How much of the responsibility? So definitely, as you know, the accusations against her is her being mean and rude. But how much of the responsibility do you think it is of her employees? Because they said, the writers and the producers, they're being accused of sexual misconduct. So how much do you feel that's her responsibility?
I don't really know who she hires. If she hires all those people, there's executive producers that hire that. A lot of times people don't know that just because your name is on the show don't mean you own that show and you run that show. Right. Look at what happened with Nick Cannon. People are surprised and wound out that he didn't own that. Like, what? Yeah, so a lot of times the talent ain't the person that knows everything. They say she's the top. If you want to consider the top, okay, you can do that. I guess there couldn't be no show without Ellen, but a lot of times people like that are worried about so many other things that they're not sitting there looking at every different situation, every department to see what's happening. It takes people to come out to say stuff. Now, if she's walking around as a person herself being rude, obnoxious, and rude, then I can see the environment. People are afraid to go to a higher up to ask and say, hey, man, this is, if the person's name on the show is acting like that, I'm afraid to go anywhere and ask someone else and stuff.
Absolutely. So another thing, so we know cancel culture is big right now. It's like everybody's getting canceled. Do you feel like this is big enough for Ellen to be completely just canceled?
No, because she's put a lot in to just people's lives already, period. Now, if she can, I believe in forgiveness. Some people don't believe in forgiveness. I believe in forgiveness. I believe if she rights her wrongs, if things she's done, sometimes you need your coattail being pulled to realize, hey, you know what? I have been messing up. I haven't been cognizant of everyone's feelings or situations. And now something happened to where I'm changing. If she changes and it becomes a better environment, what's wrong with that? It's a great show. People like that show. If it's just the behavior in the background and it can be fixed, why not fix it and continue that show and have a lot of people happy and working and, guests coming on there.
Right. And people are probably definitely, speaking into women that are in power, they can, anytime that they are strong or anything like that, where, they're considered doing too much. Do you think she's doing too much and being mean, or do you think she's just being a boss and, protecting herself?
Well, it's a fine line. I'm not there. I'm not receiving that, the wrath of her. There is a fine line of being firm and being a quote-unquote bitch. There is two. Men or women, whatever, there is one. And sometimes women like to be a bitch and just say, I'm just being firm. No, you're a bitch. That's what you are. You have to be my boss. So it's up to the individual to recognize themselves and say, hey, man, that's not culture how you're treating me. And it's not being a good boss. Because, I get it. Being a boss, you can't let everybody run over you. But it's the way you present yourself and handle situations can make somebody feel a certain way. You can reprimand somebody without making them feel low.
Right. Absolutely. Do you think she can recover from this? And if so, how do you think she can recover from this?
Just like she's doing now, apologizing and saying it's going to be a different culture around her job, around her thing. Remember, she's not doing anything in front of the camera that we didn't like. Right. You know what I'm saying? So as long as she come back on the camera the same way, and we know behind the camera she's cool and that thing is changed, then why would we not let her recover? It's not like she's done something in front of the camera that we seen, that we're like, man, I can't take this no more. It's something behind the camera, and if we hadn't heard about